In this activity, we will investigate what goes on when small corns become popcorns. And it's actually quite fascinating. But this involves heat and boiling oil, so it's very important to work securely and take precautions. So again, or in this experiment, it's also important to take away hair that is hanging down. And also if some have long sleeves, pull them up like this and have the fire blanket available, easily available. And you should also work with safety goggles. But first, the first thing I would do is to discuss with my students what is actually happening when this hard little corn here that really doesn't taste very much and it's hard to chew on becomes this delicious popcorn. And make them come with suggestions and ideas. Most probably many of them know that it's something about you need heat. You can do it with on a stove. But what is actually happening? And it goes very quickly. What's happening? Well, that's what you will investigate in this activity. And they can, of course, come up with hypotheses if they like. The first thing you have to do is that if you let your students work in pairs, each pair need a spoon of aluminum foil. And this spoon is made by folding a sheet of aluminum in double and then shape the spoon like this and make it kind of flat and tight here in the bottom. But now we have a double bottom that makes it stronger, and that's nice and makes it all more secure when we have oil in this spoon. Okay, and then the next trick is that we will heat these corns in oil above this tea candle, and the trick is to not hold the spoon down to the flame, but just 1 centimeter above the flame approximately. They have to explore a little and hold it steady. So it can be good to just practice to lean the elbow here and hold steady. How can you hold steady? And actually, it's the children that are good at focusing on this that do this experiment the best. So a few times I've had kids with ADHD who really gone into it, and they're really like focus, 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 and they popped popcorn after popcorn after popcorn. So that's kind of interesting. So you can actually tell them that in this activity it's important to focus and concentrate. And the other one in the pair, both wear goggles and they look and they try to see what's happening in the explosion, the moment the popcorn explodes, what's actually going on there. Okay, so now we are ready. We are wearing goggles. We have talked about using the tea candle light, the tea light. And of course also if they don't have practice using matches, you should also practice that. But this time you will only light the candle once, so it's not that often you need to use the match. But now I light the candle. And I'm getting ready. And what I do here is that I go around and hand out cooking oil, and I only hand out 1 milliliter in the bottom. It's important that it's not too much. You can either add more later on. And then you can, for example, start with 2 seeds in the oil, and then you just hold it above the light like this, steady. And it's hard to both hold steady and look, so one need to hold and the other need to look usually. Now my oil is boiling. And here I had the first popping. And that took approximately, I guess, 2 or 3 minutes. So it's important to be kind of patient. And you can let your students repeat this a couple of times. And then you can count how many popcorns you have made. And of course, in the end, you can eat them. And maybe you have also popped more popcorn that you can enjoy. At the same time, it's interesting to discuss what really happens. And the answer is that it's actually complex chemistry going on here. For the first, there is a small bubble of water inside each popcorn. And when the corn is heated, this water is transformed into gas that makes the corn explode. At the same time, there is starch here that is transformed to a kind of foam, and that makes this popcorn soft and delicious to chew on.